Okay, so here are some of these derivative questions. Let's see how many I can put together. These say find the derivatives. This particular set says find without using product, quotient, or chain rules. That's more of a hint than a direction, although it is a direction. So the point is you're supposed to multiply through and distribute t to the first, t to the minus 0.5. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. But don't forget, this is not a derivative. This is a multiplication step. Okay, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So there were many students, when I gave this version of the exam, would make the mistake of thinking that just because they did the algebraic simplification, they didn't have to do the derivative. It's just a very simple human error to make. But just remember, what is it that you're doing? Are you taking the derivative, or are you doing algebra? And that's all you have to do. You don't have to simplify this. I mean, this is equal to 1 over 2 square root of t, and this guy is plus 1 over t squared. And that's totally fine if you want to make that simplification, if you want to make that, but you don't have to. It's not necessary at all. Okay. The other one is a little hard to see, but is minus x to the minus 6.1. Okay, so f prime, in this case z, whatever. I'm not going to take off if you label the function wrong. Okay, now I'm going to subtract 1. It's minus 7.1. That's it. All right, the next guy, you know, 3t to the 5th is what it is. That's pretty easy. Plus 12t to the minus 1/2 plus 7t to the minus 1. So if you can do the algebra, then you can go ahead and do this derivative. 12 times negative 1/2, so negative 6. Take, you already owe $1, you spend another $1, then you owe 3 halves, or 3 half-dollar coins, if you want to think of it that way. There we go, and then you're done. You don't have to jeopardize yourself by changing that. And I don't think if anybody got this last part wrong, that was pretty rare. I mean, most people get the polynomial question right. Here's some more derivative questions. In all cases, we just want to rewrite, and aha, this is a chain rule question. So 1/2 stuff to the minus 1/2 times the derivative of the stuff. Just leave it like that. Okay. This one is q prime equals, okay, this 5 is a tag-along 5. Take the derivative, it's multiplied in, so it just comes along for the ride. Now, this is natural log, so it's elephant prime over elephant. That's easy. And why is there a plus 1? Well, recall, natural log of 5s, if I take the derivative, it's just going to be 1 over s. Whatever I put here for this constant is going to be the same on top and bottom. So how can I tell that you're doing the question correctly? Then if I could put a plus 1 in there, then I can say, aha, they put the function down in the denominator and they actually put the derivative up top. So that's it. I mean, it just makes it a little easier for me to see what it is you're doing. This guy is chain rule, but you don't need a rewrite. This is pretty straightforward. But you just have to remember to do it. Okay, next one is super easy. Derivative of e to the s is e to the s, and e to the minus s is minus e to the minus s. No problem there. Here's some more derivatives. Derivative of sine is cosine, easy points. Elephant prime over elephant. At this point, you should reduce this. That is an expected simplification. Okay. Now, this is a trick question. If you write the following, this is completely right except, right, this, what's going on? Actually, I think this is the correct way to do this one. T plus 3, yes, I did this. All right, this is fine. So now I need the derivative at the top, 2t plus 5 minus, don't forget it's a minus, top, derivative at the bottom. You don't have to write the 1 there, but it just makes me realize that you did it correctly. So this is fine. You should watch, if you get this kind of question, make sure that there's not a hidden factor. So for example, t squared plus 5t plus 2, does this factor? You should ask yourself, does this factor? No. I mean, there's nothing I can really do to this. I can get t squared plus 3t plus 2, right? But if it were t squared plus 3t plus 2, I still wouldn't get a t plus 3 on the bottom. So that's a question you should be asking. You should be asking yourself, can I factor the numerator so that I can cancel with the denominator and make my life easier? And if the answer is no, well then you just go about your life and do the quotient rule and just, that's it. Okay. And this guy, we did this twice in the same exam. Interesting. This one, there's nothing you can do. This is an alpha, it's a Greek letter. Bottom times the derivative of sine is cosine. Just sort of say that to yourself. All right, then you have top times the derivative at the bottom. And that's full credit for that question. And I'll do that question next.